Welcome to your weekday cup of the word. We are in 2 Corinthians chapter 5. It's Friday, and here we are looking at the essence of Christianity. That's what this chapter is. Paul is going to try and put in one chapter here, just in one tight little nutshell, why it is that he preached. Because if you understand why Paul preaches, then you understand why it's so important that we be Christians. Because Paul says, look, when I use harsh language with you like he did in the 1 Corinthians letter, it's not just because I was angry or in a bad mood. It's because it's just too important what's up ahead. It's too important to just let it slide. Paul will talk in this chapter about the fact that we live in tents right now. He'll talk about human bodies like a tent. And he says, someday you're going to take that tent off, just like when you go camping. A tent is a temporary dwelling place. And someday we'll go and stand before the judgment seat of God. And that's what it's all about. That every human being, at some point in time, will stand before their Maker and have to answer for the life that they led. And Paul says, that's why I preach, because one, I have to answer before God. I have to answer and say, God, I've done the best with what you gave me. And I preach too so that you will be ready to stand before God and give an answer for that. That this light affliction that he talked about in chapter 4 that leads to an eternal way to glory is what it's all about. The putting off of the earthly tent and the putting on of eternity, the putting on of that final body, the eternal body that God has waiting for us. That is why Paul was an ambassador for Christ, because that's what it's all about. It's about the eternity that waits for us on the other side. And so Paul said, don't ever mistake me. My words, whether they be harsh words or whether they be soft words, are for your benefit because I sincerely care about you. It's that continued emphasis in this book of how much Christians mattered, how much the Corinthian church mattered to Paul. And as we read through this book, that's such an important lesson. How important are souls? Well, they're everything. That's chapter 5. That's your daily cup. And we'll see you next week.